Like many elite referees, Bob Corb started his water polo journey in the pool. A club player at Northeastern University and then UMass, Corb transitioned to the whistle not long after his playing days were done. He founded the New England Water Polo Referees Association before heading west to California in search of the best available competition. Corb advanced through the ranks, reaching the USA FINA list in the early 90s. He took on some of the top assignments around the globe, including 2 Pan American Games and 3 FINA World League Superfinals. A longtime college ref, Corb was in the whites for the first NCAA Women's Water Polo Championship in 2001. He served as head referee at JOs and Senior Men's Outdoor National Championships and was the NCAA National Coordinator of Officials from 2009 to 2019. Off deck, he's worked to make the sport better as an administrator with the NCAA and USA Water Polo. Corb is still active today as the Big West Conference Coordinator of Officials.
Around 1980 or 81, I got a call from this guy from New England who was moving to California and wanted to get involved in officiating there, and that was Bob. He said, "I'll bet you get phone calls all the time from people who want to get involved in refereeing. They'll tell you that they've done this and they've done that, and in fact, none of that matters. What I want to be able to do is just show you what I can do, and then you can judge for yourself." So I got a hold of Denny Harper at UC San Diego and arranged for Bob and myself to show up at one of his practices and referee a scrimmage. And it was obvious within just 2 or 3 minutes that he was really very good, and he was going to fit into the refereeing scene in California.
You know, even back then, he was a go-getter, wanted to advance his career. Bob is a doctor of psychology, and Bob has a special quality or a knack of having people follow him into the unknown. When Bob became the NCAA coordinator, there was no national evaluators group. He began this group and grew this group that changed the officials to become much better. Bob has brought coaches, administrators, former players, and evaluators into the scene to help all officials become better. And with Bob's leadership and foresight, the officials will continue to grow.
He was always on top of the game. He was always well prepared. I always felt that he had happy feet, where he was walking up and down the pool deck quite a bit, staying engaged, and that was his way of showing coaches that he was engaged. But called a fair game, worked hard, and really goes the extra mile to get his ideas across about how to make this sport better.
I remember very well the New England Championship game at Brown. We lost to UMass in the championship game for the first time in some 10 plus years. To this day, I still don't hold it against you. Actually, at the time, that was the best game I had ever seen you officiate. Fair, unbiased, and consistent. When you became the NCAA coordinator of officials, I enjoyed working with you at the NCAA championships, clinics, and during the seasons. You embraced the importance of video clips and video dartfish software to evaluate and educate referees. You brought a very professional approach to referee education and evaluations.
He particularly was a very strong advocate for the women's national team programs. At that time, there was not a lot of parity in terms of financial support and so on and so forth between the men's national team programs and the women's national team programs. And he worked very closely with people like Sandy Nita and Becky Shaw at the time to try to correct that and put the women on a more equal footing within the organization.
He was actually instrumental in really pushing female officials and giving them an opportunity on the biggest stage. I think he had the first all-female championship here at Stanford, where he assigned Amber and Danielle. So yeah, it's totally important, where you know that someone's got your back. You're not afraid to give a yellow or a red card to a coach because you might fear some sort of retribution because you know that the assigner and in this case Bob, always had our back and was always an official's advocate, and you don't always have that.
One of the keys to his success, his ability to do all the things that he has in the sport of water polo, has been his family, his wife Carol, son Matt, daughter Becca, and the whole family was very supportive of him in his water polo efforts, without which you can't really do the kind of things that Bob has done.
One of the best stories Bob and I share is we call each other Winston, or we call ourselves Winston. Winston Churchill once said, "You have enemies? Good. That means you stood up for something sometime in your lifetime." Since both of us have to assign officials to games, and there is never enough games for all the deserving officials, they're usually not pleased with our decisions. So he calls me up and says, "I'm Winston today, Sandy." Or, "Hey Bob, today I was Winston." But tonight Bob isn't Winston. He's sitting on top of the mountain enjoying this night, being honored as a U.S. Water Polo Hall of Famer.
Your contributions to the sport will be remembered for a long time to come. And I'm very grateful for your friendship and inclusion in the process.
To my best friend in water polo, Bob Corb, I can't think of anyone more deserving of this honor.